Okay, good morning. Welcome to the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting for Tuesday, March 19th. I am the Lancaster County Board Chair, Sean Flowerday. With me is Vice Chair Rick Vest and Commissioners Matt Schulte, Roma Amundsen, and Krista Yoakum. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please begin.
Location announcement of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act. A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the wall at the rear of the hearing room. All written material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available for electronic viewing from the county clerk's staff. Printing options are available upon request. These materials can be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Item 1 is the minutes. Approval of the minutes of the Board of Commissioners meeting held on March 12th, 2024.
I move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundsen,
Abstain.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 2, claims. 2A, approval of the claims process through March 19th, 2024.
I move approval of the claims.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundsen,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Item 2B, approval of a claim to Cedars Youth Services in the amount of $300.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundsen,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Abstain.
Motion carries 4-0 with an abstention. Approval of a claim to the Mediation Center in the amount of $8,450.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundsen,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Vest,
Abstain.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0 with one abstention. Item 2D, approval of the claims, including billing for goods and services beyond the 90-day time period provided in Nebraska Revised Statutes 23-135. The first is Sheriff of York County, dated March 18th, 2024, for a total of $20.63, and State of Nebraska, dated March 18th, 2024, for a total of $21.60.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundsen,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Item 3 is a special presentation, the Commissioner's Award of Excellence for February 2024 to Monet McCullen in the category of productivity. And I'll read her nomination. Monet McCullen, Engineering Technician 3 and Project Coordinator with the County Engineer's Office, has been selected as the Commissioner's Award of Excellence winner for February 2024. McCullen has worked for Lancaster County for 5 years. She was nominated by Larry Legg in the category of productivity. In his nomination, Legg states, Monet has stepped up to cover many of the responsibilities when our account specialist retired on December 31st of last year. She coordinated with the account specialist prior to retirement, as well as the budget and fiscal office, to ensure we had everything in place to continue operations while the account specialist vacancy was being filled. Monet took the initiative to locate and review the documented processes and procedures for invoicing agencies, as well as the process for submitting our expenses for federal aid projects and the submittal of our gas tax. This additional effort on her part has allowed Lancaster County Engineering Department to moderate the amount of time the Budget and Fiscal Office has needed to assist LCED with invoicing and payments. I would estimate that Monet's assistance has reduced the amount of time Budget and Fiscal Office has needed to assist LCED by at least 6 to 8 hours a week, allowing them to attend to other matters. In addition, Monet's efforts has reduced the amount of time that the county engineer has to spend on these tasks. For these reasons, we are pleased to award McCullen with the Commissioner's Award of Excellence for the month of February 2024.
Yeah, I was one that put Monet in for the award, and I can't say enough about how much of it is a joy to work with Monet. She is one of the many employees at Lancaster County Engineering that really are looking to be part of the solution. And she's doing an excellent job as well as many others, but this is, I'm really happy that we got to do this.
Yes. Hi. You have two very cute grandkids.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have an older one back there,
And you
too.
have an older one back.
Yep.
Very good. Monet, we've known each other for a long time, and you've done a tremendous job with the county. And the one thing that I've always known about you is that you invest your time, and you work hard, you are a team leader, and you're willing to take on additional responsibilities. And I tell you what, with all of that, you're a great employee for the Lancaster County
Thank you.
Engineering
I
Department.
appreciate it. Thank you.
bet. Thank you. There you go.
That's nice. Thank you.
This is where we get to embarrass you, so would you like to say any few words? You don't have to.
I thank you, Larry, for nominating me. I certainly appreciate it. I appreciate her and him and Pam trusting me enough to take on extra duties without them kind of monitoring what I'm doing. Thank you to my wife, who kind of tolerated when I'd bring my computer home and had to log in, and she was a single parent of 3 kids for the night. Pam is bringing up my toddler twins, who are definitely a handful. So I appreciate my additional coworkers who constantly listen to me talk about how full my plate was. So just thank you all for believing in me. I certainly appreciate it. So thank you.
Well, thank you. For a long time, it's been a real pleasure to work with you at Lancaster County.
Thank you,
You
Sean.
serve the citizens so well, and it's no surprise to me at all that you're thriving in this new role. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
It's great to see the twins. It's hard to believe they're this old already.
I know. It happened so fast. Yes.
But certainly, we certainly expected your performance to be just as high level in the capacity that you're in the engineer's office as what we saw when you were with us and when you were in the clerk's office. So thank you for your dedication to the county.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And I would like to thank Monet too. I know that balancing work with a family life is not easy, and she makes it look easy along with her family. And so I just am really appreciative of the dedication she has to Lancaster County, and that she stepped up when we really needed some help. So the last few months have been really difficult in county engineering, and there's people that are willing to just sit and watch things be difficult, and there's people who go ahead and join in and do whatever they can to make things better, and Monet is that person. Thanks.
Thank you, Monet. Wherever you go, the results are the same, right? I mean, there's just a consistency here that we saw when you were in the clerk's office and now in the engineer's office. It doesn't seem to matter what your duties are. You always rise to the top. We're honored to have you as an employee. Children are very fortunate.
You hear that?
Be kind to your moms.
May not
so.
realize it. But thank you all so much for the kind words. I truly, truly appreciate it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, please continue.
Item 4 are the consent items. These are routine business items that are expected to be adopted without dissent. Any individual item may be removed for special discussion and consideration by a commissioner or by any member of the public without prior notice. Unless there is an exception, these items will be approved as one with a single vote of the Board of Commissioners. These items are approval of item 4A, amendments to the following county contracts: C-20-0470 with National Everything Wholesale for janitorial and sanitation supplies, equipment, and related services. C-23-0158 with Neiman & Sons Incorporated doing business as Sprague Roofing for unit price roofing services. C-21-0247 with Anderson Auto Group for the annual supply of OEM body parts and mechanical auto parts. Item 4B, right-of-way contracts with the following: Michael and Sarah Peshong, Southwest 128th Street and West Stagecoach Road, in the amount of $509. Diane Gropp, West Panama Road and Southwest 86th Road, in the amount of $451. Jenna L. Crozy, Life Estate, and Gary J. Heatdirks Revocable Trust, Princeton Road and South 134th Street, in the amount of $7,975. Gregory and Sarah Cooper, West Rokeby Road and Southwest 27th Street, in the amount of $379. Item 4C, Utility Permit 2509, allowing Windstream, Nebraska to install a new fiber optic line along South 25th Street. And item 4D, setting a public hearing for Tuesday, April 9th, 2024 at 9:00 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building regarding an application for a Class I liquor license for Las Palomas Mexican Grill LLC and a corporate manager's liquor license for Jesus C. Zaragoza.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Item 5, new business, 5A, resolution in the matter of recognizing March 25th through 29th, 2024 as Severe Weather Awareness Week and April 13th, 2024 as Storm Spotter Appreciation Day.
Good morning, Jim David, Saber Director, Lincoln Lancaster County Emergency Management. Every year I appreciate the board taking time to recognize the hard work of the volunteers, community liaisons, and representatives from the Lincoln Amateur Radio Club that I have the opportunity to work with every day and sometimes every night when we're dealing with some hazards to Lancaster County. When I think about the time, effort, subject matter expertise that they volunteer, any time that the health, safety, and welfare of any of our community residents may be in jeopardy, they're at the ready. So again, I really appreciate that, and as I said, we've got the statewide tornado drill scheduled for next Wednesday, and then coming up in April, we've got the annual Storm Spotter certification testing process. I know a couple of our volunteers were able to make it this morning, and we've got some representatives from the Lincoln Amateur Radio Club as well. Ed, Greg, and Sean are with us this morning. So like I said, I always appreciate the effort, and we will try to put our best foot forward moving forward. But as I said, I've always got a lot of help and assistance when it comes to that,
Could we have them come forward?
if they wish.
But appreciate you gentlemen taking time to be here this morning. Perhaps you could just tell us what it's like to be a storm spotter volunteer. I mean, we see the movies, but
I can certainly do that. Good afternoon, or good morning, I guess. It's a little early for some and a little late for others. Ed Holloway, and I am the American Radio Relay League's appointed emergency coordinator for Lancaster County. I also take care of the state of Nebraska as the section emergency coordinator. Greg and Sean here are two of my primary assistant emergency coordinators, and Sean actually takes care of southeast Nebraska as well. To be a storm spotter, and I've been in it 33 years now. I started going out on a hilltop. We have 55 recognized points in the county, 15 support points within the city, and 8 years ago when I took on the role, it was seamless in that I was my predecessor's assistant for 25 years. And so working with Jim and his team back here, you can't ask for a better emergency manager. And I deal with all of them across the state. So we're blessed in Lancaster County. We have our Storm Spotter training coming up April 13th. Jim comes out there per the regulations and the law that we have to follow. We have to re-credential every 3 years, but the training doesn't just stop with that one day. 12,641 combined man-hours of training in our newly acquired leased facility out at the old Lancaster County Work Release Facility. That's all year long. So we don't just go with the threat that's coming in from Mother Nature. It's the damage assessment afterwards and the post-damage work that we do in setting up a triage for Medical Reserve Corps and CERT, and working with Nebraska Forest Service for equipment. All of the hours that we put together with Jim's help and all of the equipment and toys, we call them toys, light trailer, backup generators, emergency mobile operations centers, all of that equipment's made available to us by Jim. So it's a pleasure to be a part of his team. When I took over, I reached out to Jim and said, you know, I just want to be a part of. And it's been very successful. We've got 139 credentialed spotters in Lancaster County that, at the whim of an easy text, are there for you. And we take pride in being that first resource for Jim and his crew with Lancaster County Emergency Management. We also take pride in helping our citizens of Lancaster County and the city of Lincoln. So, any questions about what else we do?
No, I think that's a great
Tens of
explanation.
thousands of hours of volunteer and public service in the city.
By any chance, did you know Steve Woods?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Steve I was his assistant, or I was his vice president in the club. All of us are board members of the Lincoln Amateur Radio Club, and he gave me my start.
Yeah, good man.
He was a great guy.
I just can't express enough appreciation on behalf of the citizens of Lincoln and Lancaster County, the gift of your time and your expertise to help keep our community safer. And so it's an honor to move approval of this item that both recognizes the dangers, the concerns that are before us, but appreciation of all you who help us stay safe. So I move approval.
And I would second that, and I would simply say that the coordination and the collaboration between the different agencies is so important, and it has to be seamless when you are in an emergency. And that takes a lot of training, absolutely. And thank you for your support of the Lancaster County Emergency Center. Saw the mobile, Emergency Mobile Center? Mobile Operations Center, and that was very impressive.
We'd welcome you to come out to spotter training April 12th or April 13th. We'll open the doors up at 8 o'clock, and I'd be happy to give you a tour of the facility and show you what we've done with it. And Rebecca Kern, she'll start at 11 o'clock with the hour-and-a-half presentation. We've got a little bitty small awards presentation after that, and then I give a 45-minute on how we actually operate our ham radio side of things. But love to have you. Hey, and you could become a spotter, too.
Big shoes, big shoes.
So, thank you for your time.
Good. Anything further? I think we need a motion to.
We do have that.
We have a motion and a
We
second.
already have it. Okay, then we have a motion and and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Item 5B, resolution in the matter of designating the Lancaster County Department of Community Corrections as the county's designated pretrial release agency.
I would move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Item 5C, resolution authorizing the county board chair to sign an agreement with the Schemmer Associates Incorporated for construction engineering services for the 98th Street Federal Aid paving project.
Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. This item and the item after it pertain to 98th Street from A to Old Cheney. This is construction engineering and inspection services for that corridor. And I'll note that, we are hiring out for it this time, mainly because it is extremely cumbersome and we kind of want to follow the process with the consultant. We're hopeful that we can bring this back in-house in the future and recover some of these dollars. But of course, that also may require additional staffing.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Item 5D, agreement with the Schemmer Associates Incorporated for construction engineering services for the 98th Street Federal Aid paving project. The total agreement amount is $422,919.66, of which $84,583.93 is the county's share.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Item 5E, recommendation from the purchasing agent on behalf of the county engineer to award and execute a purchase order to Buell Trucking Incorporated for rock in the amount of $353,750.
Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. This is just a little more rock for some of our areas around the county. Should we actually start to get moisture, I know this morning I noted that we're 7.5 inches behind, but should we start to get moisture, we are going to have some concerns around Lancaster County. We're going to need to use this rock.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Item 5F, recommendation from the purchasing agent on behalf of the county engineer to award and execute a purchase order to Anderson Ford Lincoln for one 2024 or newer Ford F-350 Super Cab truck in the amount of $71,857.
Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. This is purchase to just keep our fleet up to date and resilient. As we purchase these vehicles, we rotate other vehicles out so that we can maintain a resilient fleet.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Item 5G, agreement with A to Z Radon Solutions to supply and install a radon mitigation system at a county building located at 450 North Street, Hallam. The cost of the county is not to exceed $1,375.
Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. I thought it was almost done. This is for, we discovered with our building evaluation, environmental evaluation of all of our buildings, that we had a building that had a radon concern. It's news to me, just as a quick side note, that a slab-on-grade building could have a radon concern, because I've always thought that was something that was mostly associated with basements. Nevertheless, we want to go ahead and get this radon pump installed so that we can have a safe atmosphere for the employees.
I would move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Item 5H, contracts with the following to provide the annual supply of sheriff uniforms and accessories. GT Distributors Incorporated at a cost not to exceed $1,798.84, and Municipal Emergency Services Incorporated at a cost not to exceed $30,796.
Terry Wagner, Lancaster County Sheriff. This is just, we had to rebid our uniform contract. We're having difficulty getting them, and this is just an approval of that contract for uniforms for the coming year.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Item 5I, subscription agreement with Lexipol for the county sheriff to use Lexipol's grant assistance platform. The cost of the county is $14,250.
Terry Wagner, Lancaster County Sheriff. Lexipol provides these services for grant assistance. The main thing I think they're going to help us with is trying to get grant assistance for our future training facility that we're trying to obtain. And we're paying for this out of forfeited assets, so it wouldn't be out of the county's general fund. So,
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Item 5J, agreement with Insight Software LLC for 40 hours of consulting and training services related to existing county-owned budget and fiscal-related software licenses. The cost of the county is $12,313.60.
Good morning, Dennis Meyer, County Budget and Fiscal Director. This contract here is really setting up 40 hours worth of training over the next 2 years for a software that I still refer to as Global, but it kind of attaches straight to Excel. So we've got about 15 to 17 licenses out there that allows us to pull financial information straight from our accounting system, drop it into Excel, and then you can kind of work you can kind of work with the data a little bit easier there. With where we're at, you know, just with staffing and stuff like that, we've got newer individuals out there, you know, even with myself, it will give us the ability to maybe learn some things that we don't even know about. So I think this 40 hours over the next couple of years will just allow for us to kind of get a better understanding of what this package can do for us.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
I guess, can I just ask you, Dennis? I mean, that's over $300 an hour. Is that normal for this kind of lot for consulting hour? I mean, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I think when you get into some of the training and stuff like that, I don't see that as out of the ordinary. When we get into, you know, when you get into some of the consulting with just upgrades with our accounting system and stuff like that, I would say that it's not out of the ordinary.
That consulting builds out like attorneys anymore. Just does. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Item 5K, recommendation from the purchasing agent on behalf of the County Election Commission to award a bid to All Needs Computer and Mailing Services Incorporated for the annual service of pre-sorting and processing outgoing mail and backup first class and standard mailing in an amount not to exceed $91,000.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Item 6 is the legislative update.
Anyone have anything? I don't have anything particularly either. Or I'll just kind of wait and see what comes out of the Revenue Committee at this point. Okay, we can proceed.
Item 7 is public comment. Those wishing to speak on items relating to county business not on the agenda may do so at this time.
Testing from the prophet Isaiah, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness. A certain woman in a certain county in a certain state ran for county clerk in 2018 to give the people of her county better government service. She went unopposed. Immediately after she conducted her 2020 election, her Secretary of State informed her that people would be coming to her office to do a trusted build on her election machine. She didn't trust the Secretary, and she knew it was her responsibility to protect her records. So she had those digital files copied. Then the people hired by the Secretary came and installed their so-called trusted build. She then had her hard drive copied again to make sure they hadn't changed any of her election records. The Secretary, also a she, got wind of it and went into full-blown damage control. She went berserk. They came after the clerk with everything they had: lawfare, lawsuits, guns, arrest, and lies, claiming the clerk committed numerous crimes. Of course, the Secretary was the one who had committed the crime. She was just projecting her own criminality. Meanwhile, the clerk had the 2 copies analyzed. They showed significant manipulation of the voting data and results. It became the shot heard around the world. That is, for everyone except those glued to a lockstep Mockingbird legacy media that is controlled by a rogue government. Ever since that clerk exposed the election fraud, the same fraud has been verified in every county across the country from which cast vote records could be secured. This is the reason Evnen and Benna won't let us have the cast vote records. At any rate, whistleblowers have recently stepped forward and confessed their crimes. The word is out. The entire computerized election infrastructure, so-called, is networked, contrary to all claims otherwise, which makes it very easy for a few bad actors to cheat nationwide. This is why secretaries across the nation have become so resistant to transparency. All of these oath-taking breakers and their oath-taking protectors at the county level, namely you, are in for a world of hurt. Let's review Constitutional Republic 101. Declaration, all men are created equal. They are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. To secure these rights, governments are instituted, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. Whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these rights, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it. In other words, the people rule. The people decide their rights and the frame of government to protect those rights. Quoting Thomas Paine, the right of voting is the primary right by which other rights are protected. To take away this right is to reduce a man to slavery, for slavery consists in being subjected to the will of another. The proposal, therefore, to disenfranchise any class of men is as criminal as the proposal to take away property. Nebraska Constitution, Article 1, Section 1, all persons are by nature free and independent and have certain inalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, the right to keep and bear arms, and such rights should not be denied or infringed by the state or any subdivision thereof. To secure these rights, governments are instituted, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. All elections shall be free. Article 1, Section 22, Nebraska State Constitution. All elections shall be free. And there shall be no hindrance or impediment to the right of a qualified voter to exercise the elective franchise. An elective franchise that is not transparent and verifiable by the collective body politic to whom it belongs is not an elective franchise. It is a charade, a simulation, a deception, a psychological operation, a sham, a pretense, lawfare, corruption, malfeasance, tyranny, treason, hate for your neighbor. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that call darkness light and light darkness. Woe unto them that take an oath and don't keep it. Woe unto them that don't exercise due diligence.
Any other members of the public wishing to speak? Seeing none, we can proceed.
Item 8 is the announcements. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold a staff meeting on Thursday, March 21st, 2024 at 8:30 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold its next regular meeting on Tuesday, March 26th, 2024 at 9 o'clock a.m. with the Board of Equalization immediately following in room 112 of the County City Building. County Commissioners can be reached at 402-441-7447 or commish@lancaster.ne.gov. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting is broadcast live on LNK TV. LNK TV is available on Allo Channel 2 and Spectrum Channel 1300. For the rebroadcast schedule, visit lincoln.ne.gov. Meetings are also streamed live on YouTube and Facebook. LNK TV apps are also available on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. And item 9 is adjournment.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Best,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay. We will go ahead and begin the Lancaster County Board of Equalization meeting for Tuesday, March 19th. Please begin.
Location announcement of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act. A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the wall at the rear of the hearing room. All written material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available for electronic viewing from the county clerk staff. Printing options are available upon request. These materials can also be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Item 1 is the minutes. Approval of the minutes of the Board of Equalization meeting held on Tuesday, March 5th, 2024.
Move approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yep.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Item 2, additions and deductions to the tax assessment rolls.
Move approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Flowerday. Motion carries 5-0. Item 3, public hearings. The following motor vehicle tax exemption applications: Parkview Christian School, New Bethel Bible Way Apostolic Temple Church, Christian Church in Nebraska, St. Joseph Catholic Church and School, Nebraska Safety Council, and Catholic Social Services.
We will now open the public hearings on the motor vehicle tax exemption applications. Are there any members of the public wishing to speak? Okay, seeing none, we will go ahead and close those public hearings. Move on to the next item.
Item 4, action on the following, the motor vehicle tax exemption applications.
Move approval of the motor vehicle tax exemption applications.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Item 5 is the executive session.
Move that we go into executive session for the purpose of pending litigation and legal advice and to protect the public interest at 9:39 a.m.
Move approval.
You mean second?
Oh. Second.
We have a motion and a second to go into executive
Like
session.
a second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
may have been like more on the local section.
I do, and I do, like, I just do the digital stories on my phone, and you don't always get the same.
Yeah.
So,
Ready, my friend?
I'm ready.
I move that we come out of executive session at 10:15 a.m.
Second that.
we have a motion and a second to come out of executive session at 10:15. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yep.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
We adjourn?
We have public comment first.
Oh, sorry, let's not skip.
The next item is public comment. Those wishing to speak on items relating to County Board of Equalization business not on the agenda may do so at this time.
Are there any members of the public wishing to speak on BOE business? Seeing none,
Move we adjourn?
Second.
we have a motion and a second to adjourn. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yep.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries.